Now let's move on to our first separation technique, filtration. Okay, filtration is a technique used to separate solid from a liquid. So in a real life situation, as what you can see here, our hawker centers, they use a sieve. Okay, so this is your sieve here. Right, the sieve is actually used to so-called get the noodles out from the soup, or you can say noodles out from the boiling water. Depends on how do you normally look at it. Sometimes they cook noodles like mee rebus, ban mian, all of this. They have their sieve to get the noodles out from the water. Same way filtration functions the same. Okay, now this is a setup for filtration. Okay, this is a filtration setup. So your filter paper, okay, functions like a sieve. Your solids here is like the noodles, and the liquid here is like the soup. So when we are doing the filtration method, or I should say the separation technique of filtration, we're actually trying to get the solid away from the liquid. We are separating the solid from the liquid. So this is a very simple thing, okay? Like for example, maybe this is our, let's get a different color. Right? Maybe this is our sand and water. So when the sand and water is mixed together, you know that the sand doesn't dissolve in the water. You got a solid and a liquid, and they don't mix. Right? They don't really combine together. So what's going to happen? You can actually take this mixture that you have and pour it through your filter paper. And when you pour it through the filter paper, the liquid flows down. And the liquid flows down, and you get the water in the beaker, and you get the sand and the filter paper. So take note, the solid that we obtain from the filtration is known as the residue. So in this case here, your solid is also known as the residue after filtration. And the liquid that we obtain here is also called your filtrate. So these are the keywords that you must remember and use it all the time whenever you're doing filtration. So let's look closely into how filtration works. So think of it as the filter paper, okay, actually have many holes. Same as what you have seen here, your sieve. Actually, your sieve is made out of many tiny holes. Okay, so when the liquid particles and the solid particles are passed through the filter paper captures the solid particles. Whereas the liquid particles, because of their smaller sizes, they pass through and it will go into the beaker, and that's where your filtrate is obtained. So actually your filter paper functions exactly like a sieve. So do take note of this. Now, some of the examples where we'll use filtration is like, maybe we can separate our orange pulp from the orange juice. Okay, the other one is separating sand from water, the one that I said just now. And in chemistry, sometimes, I should say most of the time, when we want to separate a solid from a liquid, most of the time the solid is a crystal, okay? And then the liquid most probably will be water. So we want to separate crystals from the water or crystal from the solution. Okay, we'll use filtration method. Filtration is very common, so you just need to know how it functions. Just separates solid from a liquid, visible solid to be exact. Okay, so in summary, filtration, what it does is it separates visible solid from a liquid. Okay, so this is your filtration.